Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Thursday, January the 22nd. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get in, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. I'm doing the video quite early today. I'm actually taking off at right after I do this, and it's about time is it now? 1:06. But wow, I've got one fantastic trade to talk about, a couple others, and I'm actually in two trades right now. But this is the trade I want to talk about, and this is why I've said in previous videos that if you come into the trading room early, you'll see that I try to identify two or three, maybe even four stocks that I think are potential turnaround, potential reversal plays. And this was one of them. And you can see right now it is still down $10.23. Here's where it closed yesterday. Here is in the pre-market, obviously earnings or something like that. And it got all the way down here, 37. So it was actually down $13. Now the other two that I identified, SNDK, um, here was the problem with it. Yes, it was down quite a lot, but you see how it recovered, big spike, so it was kind of choppy. So a lot of the recovery, the reversal had already taken place. Now, some people got into it right here, and more power to them. But what I'm looking, and the other one, let me just take a look at the other one, FFIV. The same, sort of the same thing. Here it is. This was earnings yesterday, so it was. I guess if I just move out a bit. So here's a huge plunge yesterday and down, but then you can see that in the pre-market it started to recover. And yeah, I mean it had a massive recovery. I just didn't see an entry right here. And just oh good, my wow, my IGTE is doing well. Sorry. Okay, can't wait to show you that one. Uh, so I couldn't see an entry here, but the problem is that it was starting to recover already. Now contrast that with Land's End. You see what happened? It had no recovery at all, really. I mean, a little bit here, but then it was slowly coming down. And I was saying that over the whole number, I liked it, especially on this little pattern here. You know, right over here is 37.99. These two little fairly tight 5-minute candles, that gave me the hope that, maybe the bottom is in. And then when it burst through the whole number, I took the trade. And I got out, I took the trade at 30. I don't have the arrow, but I actually took it at 38.16 on this first one. So I took it right here, just don't have the arrow. Now I did get out half at 38.56, but what I decided to do is just in case, it would have, this was it, and it was going to collapse again. You just never know. So I'm always usually pretty conservative in that regard, and I'll take, and that's a 40-cent profit in a very a short period of time. But you can see what's happened since then. It's at 40.46. So, I mean, I'm in at 38.16. So right now, as we speak, I still have the second half and I'm up $2.30 in it. So this has just been a fabulous trade. And this is more in tune what I like to see in a reversal, so that it didn't start to reverse in the pre-market. So this is just a great trade. Still in it, still really happy. Now the other one I'm still in, just want to see how it's, okay, let me just get over here, 34.13. Okay, I mean, nothing, it's not spectacular, but I'm in, actually, I took this trade, IGTE. This came from my best 10, and I do an evening scan of stocks that I want to watch the night before, or sorry, the day after in the morning, well, all day. And so this was on my radar. And the reason it was is that if we take a look at the daily chart, you can see that it was beat up here, beat up again, but it looked like it was trying to come back a little bit. I mean, here's the low, bounced off those lows. These are daily candles. And so I thought, you know what? Let's take a look to see what's going to happen today with it, because it's got an awfully big gap to fill. I mean, we're talking 34 to $41. Not saying obviously it happened all in one day, but when I'm in day trading, that's the sort of thing I like to see. Again, I don't expect it to recover the gap, but I mean, there's so much blue sky right here that there's no chart. I mean, you could argue that here 35.59, the high of yesterday, could be a problem, but so what? That's still a dollar and a half away. So I took the trade and let's see, get back to the 5 minute candles. Now, the problem with this, and I said it in the room, I love this little pattern. You see the little pullback and then the break. I love the pattern, but it was close to the whole number. And also the volume is not great. I mean, it's still only 269,000. I think when I was looking at it, it was only a couple 100,000 shares. So the volume was not great. And so, a couple things going against it. Volume not great, up against the whole number perhaps. So, I said, well, why did you take it? Well, because sometimes with the low volume, that's all sometimes it can help you. The low volume can really maybe widen the bid ask, and when the bid catches up to the ask, you can get a quick hit. In this case, yes, it went above 34, but the bid never got above 34. And I kept saying, I will probably get back into it if the bid can get above 34. So I exited the first time right here at 33.82. So I was in at 33.78, 33.82, but I kept watching it, and I got back in at I don't have it marked here, but it was 3402, 3403, I think. I just don't have it marked here. And so I got back in right here. And the bid did drop back down. It got back down to 33.99, but as I was starting this video, I can see that it's popped a little bit. So I'll hold it, let's see what happens. The bid right now I think is 3408, so I'm still a little bit ahead. See if it can, do some bigger damage on the plus side for me. Now, let's see. TTM was another good one. TTM, this was kind of a fluky one for me because, here's my breakout alert, and TTM actually came yesterday at 233. And when I opened this window today, it was still there. Obviously 937. This is today. This is yesterday 233, and that happens a lot. You'll see maybe the last trade or the last alert in a window when you open it the next day. So I was sort of watching this one, and when it broke out above the whole number here, I did say, well, this is a bit of a chase, but it just had that look to it that it looked like it could just continue going, and it really did. I got in at 48.05, and then within about 8 minutes, it got up to 48.51. I exited half, got all the way up to 48.85. Obviously, really hoping it could break through 49. It didn't. And as it came back down, I exited at 48.68. So, pretty quick, 5, 10, 15, maybe max 20 minutes. I was in and out of this trade, and for good little profit. And let's see, EFX. EFX. Now, this came from my lifetime high alert. Now, most of these did not work that well. Again, this is not just when I get the alert, it doesn't mean I just go and buy. I mean, I will start to watch what's happening. And EFX came right here at 85.03. And you can see the volume was really bad. If I just expand this just a little bit, only 98,000 shares at that time. So I said, you're running the risk when you're in something that's very low volume, but it broke and it looked like it had, it just had, once it got over 10, that's kind of my guideline now. I want to see it, I get alerted when it's between 10 cents and the whole number on the break. And when it breaks through, I usually try to take that trade. So I took the trade, 85.15. I did say it's risky because the whole number was, very low volume, but that worked out also. And I was able to get out half at 85.43, and then the other half at 85.38. So nothing spectacular, but while I'm watching Land's End and go up, it was nice to have this one. And that is, no, I'm sorry, one more, FXCM. I wonder what it's doing right now. Yeah. Okay, so again, FXCM, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but I mean, this should be on everybody's watch list for the next, week, 2 weeks, who knows. Again, this is the one that the Swiss currency. Fiasco for it, lost $250 million. They had a cash injection of $300 million to try to rescue it. And so, a lot of people are hoping that this will recover. So what I said in the pre-market, if it could hold 260, and you can see this is the pre-market. This is 8 o'clock right here, and it was bouncing off 260. And I said if it could hold 260, it might be good. And so here's where it opened. Here's the candle. And so I took the trade right here. Looked like I say it held it. That was going to be my stop. So I thought, okay, it's not a bad risk reward. Got in at 267, and I chickened out. I quickly exited at 277. See, it went up to 294, but then look at this chop. And that chop that you see right here, or the drop, that could have happened right there too. I mean, we just don't know. And so I decided to exit the trade. And you see here, it had several attempts. One, two, three. These are 5-minute candles again to try to get through $3. Now it looks like it has. So again, tomorrow this has to be watched just to see, again, what have I got? 2.5 hour or 2 hours and 45 minutes left in the market. If it holds three and it stays in this here, then it might be something that again we have to look at tomorrow and see if it can start running up to 4 or 5. Who knows? Remember, it's come down a lot from. Let's bring out the daily again. Here's where it came from, 12 and a half dollars. Now, is it? I doubt that it's going to recover this gap because this money, of course, that has been injected doesn't come free. 10% interest up to I think 17%. I don't know the exact details, but it's nonetheless it is something that has to be watched because of this beautiful gap fill. I mean, what if it only filled here? I mean, it's still a great percentage increase. So that's why I encourage you to do that, and I encourage you to come into the pre-market to see what we're talking about in the pre-market, to identify those stocks that have the potential for a nice reversal. And let me just take a look at LE again, and we are still in it. And I guess I'm going to have to try to put a trailing stop on this because I do have to get out of here soon. This is a terrible day to do that because this just has the look of something that just wants to recover all day. I mean, it's still got a $10 to fill the gap, and it's pretty steady now. It's not gyrating too much. So anyway, it's luck of the draw. This happened to be the day that I have to take off. So anyway, hope that was informative to you, especially on what we're looking for in the pre-market for the pre-market reversals. And again, here's how to get into the room, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.